Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Let me just put this down. Okay, so I feel like this is optimized for the actual voice level because I don't want to go too high and you have to hear all these wind noises. So now if you hear any whatever in the background, the TV is currently streaming the confrontation of judge whatever testifies on assault allegations. So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know for any noise in the background that would be coming from there. So we're gonna go ahead and get to episode 2, but before we go into there, that being said, no, let me start. Okay, so basically I was not uploading videos normally because, you know, school always comes first before all this. But that being said, that's why I was not uploading videos like I was supposed to, well, or should be doing in that matter. And the fact that, you know, it's been like a week or two ever since I uploaded episode 1, and then here comes episode 2, which will tell you how to place it and save your terrain. So, and then after all that, I'm having episode 3, which will become getting all the meshes and materials. Episode 4 will be converting them all to 4.7.0 or 4.6.0. But disregarding all that, we're gonna go ahead and do a SketchUp series to Rigs of Rods as well, including toolkit, so you'll be able to go ahead and get your creations in game. So that being said, I may not be uploading videos normally as like I used to before the week or the following week, which is last week and now. So this is just a little heads up. So we're gonna go right into the video. The tutorial is not, it's very short. It's just covering some basics on how to add something to the terrain. So let's say you loaded your terrain, you're in toolkit. Disregard all this roading I'm doing here, but let's say that there's nothing spawned, like literally nothing whatsoever. So you're gonna go ahead, it should look like this. You should scroll down to your objects, double click that, scroll all the way down until you see road right here. If you have a mouse, you can go ahead and click place objects with middle mouse button, and you know that that thing you used to scroll up and down web page, you can go ahead, actually click it, not scroll it, but click it on any part of the terrain, and then left click with your mouse on that same point in order to spawn this thing. Now please keep in mind that the texture is off because I'm experimenting with something, so disregard the texture errors that I have around this map. So regarding that, after you have your road, you can just go ahead and start from there. So if you're a laptop user, I think, let me view the help here because I never used a laptop with toolkit. So we're gonna go ahead and just view block mode. Okay, add the first piece of the road using the previous first or second method. Select the recent added object by left click on it. So in this context, I spawned the road, right? So I'm just gonna left click it, and then it says next on the menu, depress the space key, and the selected object and the object tree, which is this, will appear next to the selected object in a 3D window. So basically saying you just click on the road and you go to whatever you want spawned. So let's say I want to spawn sign stop. You would left click on this road with this thing being in the object tree. While you still have your axis right here and everything showing, you should press space, and there it is. Another, you know, it spawned. Now, I only recommend doing it with roads because some of these other objects around here will just push the object down and downward. So if that's the case, let's try doing it with, I'll show you guys an example. Let's try I know there's a mesh file in here that does this. Let me see if I can find it. Triple single row T. Okay, so I just click on the road, right? And then I press space on it, right? So it should give me this thing right there. Now, what I would do is go back to the road and then click it again if I were connecting parts. And then I would just move it to fit the actual thing. Because you know why? If I went ahead and just replaced it separately, then they both will stay at the same height, meaning there's no bumps in there, and then you're good to go. However, if I would have done this mesh and then press space, it's now all the way over there in the ground, and you have to click and drag it up, and you know, stuff might happen. So if you accidentally spawn an object that you don't want in there, just left click it and then hit the delete key on your keyboard, so it should remove the whole object. So just going over some basic stuff. I know I didn't go over what you're supposed to do if you're doing it laptop way. I really don't know how to do that, so you should maybe read the manual up here in the help section. I don't know. If I'm going too fast for you, you can just always pause this video until you know what I'm talking about, and then you can just go ahead and continue from there. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is, oh yeah, if you're gonna make a multiple road like so, just go ahead and click that with this thing added in there, and then the thing that I like to do is left click and hold it. Don't let go. Do not let go. Even when you are pressing space, don't let go. And then it can do this. There you go. I just created a curve right there. Do not worry about these little peaks right there. Since it's the Rigs of Rod's default road, they will automatically connect together and take up this gap, so it shouldn't be there. But if it's something wide, like you see how I was just turning it narrow, right? Now if I would have done a wide turn like that, that's not going to connect. We're going to have some confliction problems right here, well, at least for my computer, and stuff is going to happen. So yeah, I would recommend just changing it out of normal, like narrow thing, instead of just doing this and then that and then that, messing up your whole entire road. So let's go ahead and delete all this. Once again, you just left click on it. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Anytime that your mouse cursor is over two objects, a list should be given with one of these things right here. I know you cannot see my mouse cursor, but yeah, it should show up like these. But however, you should click on the appropriate mesh that you put down. In this case, it's all roads. So let's say I wanted to pick the second road. I will click the second one, and it would show up right there. Now let's say I wanted to actually select the first road. It will select up right here. So after you go ahead and make your stuff and do all that, experiment with Toolkit a little bit more, go ahead and click save button. You can save it as whatever name, but I'm just gonna click Unity, then I'm gonna click save, then you're gonna click save. I'm gonna click cancel, but you're gonna go ahead and click save. So yeah, that's how to save it for 0.39 and lower. I'm gonna cover it a little bit more. Like, comment, and subscribe. The third episode is gonna be coming out, and I'll explain everything more in that episode. And I'll see you guys later.